Yeah, I think this is the first time we are meeting and talking, and I would like to briefly introduce the team today. The two most important people for you are, of course, I think the presenters. And the first is Stefan Lehmann. Stefan Lehmann is an experienced engineer with many years of knowledge of maintenance and all the related processes. Stefan is the product owner of an important ERP function extension that we need in technical services, and yeah, which is an integral part of the ERP we use today in this webinar. Aaron Kleszewski from Microbiz will take on the role of scheduler today and show you how service orders can be planned digitally. Stefan Hajdutschka and myself, we will be your contact if you are interested later on. Stefan Hajdutschka as the CEO of Microbiz Germany, and I'm the head of solution sales at all4cloud. Let's start now. I think you can agree with me if I say the challenges in service are many and varied. Customers who want technical problems solved, having spare parts in stock, invoices that are pending or that have not been paid yet. Furthermore, understanding the customer's problem, determining what is faulty and how, and whether action needs to be taken straight away or at a later date. Who is the right technician? Does he or she have the right skills? Who is close to the customer? Does the job still fit into the route? And then suddenly the technician falls ill. One example, or the job with another customer takes longer than planned. Then the time-consuming planning has to start again. And I think many of you have the same or similar situation. A lot of time for planning. And let us thought about what would happen if the planning became less time consuming, would be completed more quickly, and changes to the plan would be made quickly and easily. I think sounds well. And then let's think about what else a planner needs for the service, for his work. He needs to know a lot of information. Who is the customer? Where is the system located? Are the spare parts in stock, or do they still have to be purchased? When will the spare parts arrive? Does the customer have any unpaid invoices? What does the service contract with the customers look like? Let me point to the service level agreement. He normally receives this information from the ERP, but searching for information in both systems on two screens, I think nobody wants that these days. So the ERP therefore provides the information that the dispatcher planner needs in his planning board. And the planning board provides the ERP system with information required to create invoices, for example. And let's think about whether this makes sense. as we can see on this page, resource planning is a part of a long process chain in your company. We can see that a lot of information sorry, from the company's ERP is involved in the resource planning. And we can see that a lot of information flows back into the ERP as a result of the planning. Create invoices, do financial accounting, manage customers. Our modern ERP is also used to manage the machines and plans of our customers. What kind of system, who is the manufacturer, which components are included, and so on. And also manage the service contracts in my ERP to ensure that the invoices can be issued correctly later on. During this webinar, we will be focusing on the planning part. But you will see how the data from the ERP is transferred to the planner and also back again. But so that he does not have to switch between the applications from the left screen to the right screen, or from the right screen to the left screen. So using or working as a DJ. Yeah, we will see, or we will then see how resource planning can be automated. Because an efficient relationship in resource planning during service and maintenance depends on a few dispatchers planning and controlling as many resources as possible. Yeah, for this presentation, we have created a company. This is not a real company. Any associations with other companies are purely confidential. And Almica is a company that offers on-site technical services. Almica's customers are mainly companies in Germany, but can also all over the world, in Europe, in the United States, in Australia, in Uganda, and so on. Almica wants to be reliable in everything they do and keep to agreed appointments. We offer, that means Almica offer, our customers a full range of services. Almica technicians are specialists when it comes to laser cutting systems and metal presses. Our, or Almica's 3 service teams have skills in different areas, which makes it possible to always set up a coordinated team for the service job. In addition to inspections, revisions, and preventive maintenance. Almica also offers the cleaning of lens units and their calibration. Almica are also quickly on site in the event of an emergency. So that's a little bit about the company we present today here in this webinar. Well, no, I have talked enough. I think the first part is done. You are instructed. Let me hand over directly to Stefan and Aaron. I will here see you later again to discuss with you your questions. Have fun now with Stefan and Aaron.
Thank you, Detlef. Now, let us investigate how the solution that we present today can help Almica as a professional service provider to handle all these challenges that Detlef mentioned. First of all, and I've shared my screen with you of the system, I would like to outline that I'm now working in the SAP Cloud ERP system, which is extended by an enterprise asset management solution called EAM for Cloud. And in this system, we are already able to manage the machines that are located at the customer side, on which we are planning and executing service activities. And these machines and customers and locations are managed in the system by so-called maintenance objects. So let's start with the root node Almica, and going down the line on the second level, we see all customers that Almica has as a professional service provider. So in this structure, the customers, and attached to the customers, we have the customers' addresses, are on the second level of detail, so to say, in the substructure. Going one level deeper, for example, we see the example or the scenario also Detlef explained, that these are companies which are using metal presses and laser cutting machines. And we are Almica and are servicing these kind of machines. Typically, professional service provider companies, before they go to on-site customer side to execute orders, they agree to maintenance contracts with their customers. And also in the system, there is a powerful module for managing maintenance contracts. In these contracts, you can agree to the deliverables and to the service level agreements, and of course to the payment of the contract. So the contract management is, so to say, the first step when the journey starts. Now, since the obligation out of this contract have to be controlled and managed, we have an additional module called preventive measures. And this preventive measure module helps you to control that you fulfill your obligations from your customer maintenance contracts timely and in a good and desired quality. The maintenance system has two important objects to get this work done, be it on time periodic schedule or be it on operational counters that are attached to the customer's machines. The first object is called service order template, and the second one is called preventive measure. In the service order template, as the name says, the planner configures one time all necessary activities and spare parts that he has to take into consideration to execute the agreed kind of service. Behind such a template, there is much more functionality, but due to the limited time, we cannot show you everything today. This is only a quick walkthrough to get the red line of the story. But I would like to mention, for example, that you can place a checklist or a step-by-step instruction behind the service lines of such an item. Another functionality that works well comes from the service order template and is the attachment flow. So you could also attach maintenance documentation or drawings to this template, and when the template is waked up into an operative service order, all these data, of course, flow over into the operational service order and are visible then in the end to your technicians. Having such a template created, it is up to the periodic measure to wake this template up to be a real service order or create real service order out of it automatically on an according time schedule. And this time schedule is defined here in my example. There is a scheduling of a weekly rhythm that occurs on Thursday on every week and creates service orders out of our templates. Now, in the middle of this screen, you see the third important information, and this is the maintenance object. In reality, this is the machine, or this is the object that represents the machine where you have to do the services at. In this case, it is the service inspection and calibration on Trumpf laser cutting machines every week. Of course, in this example, it is more an artificial example for the demo to get enough service orders and workloads per week. Usually service providers go to customer in, say, more distant periods like half yearly or yearly to do work. Okay, after having set this type of configuration one time, there is a background mechanism in the system, so no user interaction happens. And this background mechanism picks up all these data, the template, the affected technical machines, and the rhythm from the scheduling, and creates a list of dates out of it for the future. And this list is called in the system a service task. So you see here all the dates going down the line in the future for metal press inspection, for laser cutting, for calibration, and so on and so on. This is then an automatically generated list of service tasks. In the ERP system, it is common that the work is distributed on the team level. When we go back to the service order template, we can see that we can attach here the so-called execution team, and this is the typical team that executes the work. Our way of thinking is the team of electricians are doing electric services, and the team of mechanics are doing mechanical services. So also these kind of tasks are dedicated to the team level. Yeah. Besides the automatic determination of the corresponding team who is in charge of the action, the strength of the ERP system is also that side processes like material planning or spare parts procurement are triggered when they are needed. So this is an absolutely strength of an integrated ERP system like this one, that you can trigger everything that you need to fulfill a service, be it your own team, be it spare parts that are on your stock or have to be procured timely, or be it that you don't do the activity by yourself, but you hire a third-party supplier instead to do the services on customer side. These are side processes that could also be managed and integrated by the system. But as always in life, there are strengths and weaknesses. The weakness of this system is that the assignment of really named resources, say who is doing the action in the near-term time period, is not well supported by the ERP because this question of scheduling, of say assigning names to demands, is a very complex question. And this question is better done by a professional tool and better supported by professional experts like our colleagues from Microbiz. In the end, I will show you by means of a report what comes out of my example. In my example, weekly laser cutting calibration and inspection, we get out a number of service orders per calendar week, per day. And here in this report, I show you how many service orders are created out of this mechanism per day. For example, in calendar week 9, on the 28th of February, we have laser cutting inspection. 14 times, 14 open orders are created by this. When we go a bit deeper to show these kind of orders on the team level, we see that for week 9, for example, the team service and support has to fulfill measures like cleaning, maintenance, or measuring. Measuring is the calibration action, so to say. And this is the demand, the overall demand that was generated out of the system. So we have in week 9, 75 hours of measuring to fulfill by the service and support team. And now it comes to the question, which is the named technician to do or to fulfill this demand? You have to know that we have an interface that transfers the full demand, say all the service orders on the fly in real time, to a professional tool, Microbiz. And now my colleague Aaron from Microbiz explains how to do the scheduling by means of this professional tool.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. Okay, yeah. Yeah, what we now see is the scheduler of the planning module, the part from Microbiz. You saw before the task that Stefan creates in the system, and that comes to Microbiz over the API and is now here in my scheduling board. In the normal process, it's scheduled fully automatically based on the time the user or the employee is free. As you can see here with the green bars, that's the work time for each specific people here, and also based on the skills that the employees brings within. To show that, I have now 3 tasks here below that I plan manually, because then you get a better view on this, how to plan or replan things, because yes, automatically is fast and is you don't need to spend a lot of time or thinking how to plan optimally, but it's also very important that a person or the disponent has the final view on it, and has also the possibility to go in the system and do some replannings or adjustments here. So what we see now here is for this current week, and here the current day, all the plannings that are made. We can see the past and also the future here, and also if, for example, this person has not a work day tomorrow, it's also present here in the scheduling plan. What are the information the disponent has already on this screen without going deeper in the system? So at first, what I already said, the capacity of all specific employees, the free time between the task, and of course the tasks itself. And we also have some possibilities to see some information for all the specific parts. For example, we see information about the user. We also see information about the task that we can see here, the task number we get from Stefan before, the description, the address, we see the status, the time, the allocated time, and when it's carried out to be done. We also see here in an example the time bar here that this is this cleaning task is done in the 2 hours it was allocated. And another example is here when it needs a little bit longer than expected, then it's also directly visible here in this view. Yeah, the new or the tasks that are not planned, you can see here below. The status is the waiting planning, and as you can see here, the company and the task title. There are also links, and it's the same as on the top with the tasks. We can see here some little information, of course, more inside the specific card or a data set from this customer in this case, but we have, without leaving this view, some information about here the customers, and also for the task. So in this case, it's still not planned, so we don't have a time bar and the next planning date, but we have a start date, deadline, and so on. So yeah, the most important information are here summarized for a quick view. Yeah, what I do now is I put these tasks in the schedule. Yeah, please here have a look on the time left. So we can see here there are 3 hours estimated for this task and 2 hours for the cleaning task. And we just need to take the drag and drop, take the symbol. And as you can see, some employees are grayed out. So it's not possible to place it here. So when I try to place this task here on this user, you can see here the employee is not qualified for this task. That is because there's a skill on each employee, and there's also a skill linked to this specific task. So only if these 2 parameters match, then it's possible to place this task to this employee. So now I take this electric task and put it here to this employee. You now see here the information it's saved, and you also see that the time goes to 0 and the status changed to planned active in this case. We also do this with the other task. So now the pending planning for this team is done. We have no open tasks that need to be planned for this, in this time period. I already said for this team, we have here the focus on the team Almica Hanover. We also have the possibility to get an overview about the other teams in the company. It's of course based on permission settings. So if you need or the disponent needs the view on other teams, it's also possible then when it's should not be allowed to see that. So that we can here see we have a team Almica Berlin and Almica Munich. We can switch to all of them specifically, and we also can see all teams in one view. So also based on permissions, we are able to share the tasks between the teams when it's needed. That I can take the task and put it also based on the skill topic to place it to employees on other tasks when it's needed. So now I switch back to my Hanover team. Yeah, and then we have the case, what I think it's everyday business. We fully planned the whole week. Everything is fine. Everything is nice. And then there comes the call in the morning. Oh, I'm sick. So yeah, what to do? I think with this view, it's we can say, okay, we can choose here a task and pull it from one to the other. But I also know that this small amount of employees are not reality for a lot of companies. So it's the disponent has not the time or the capacity to check all the free capacities and to check all the tasks that this specific user has on a specific day. So then we have the possibility just switch in another part of the software. And as you can see here, we have also our Almica Hanover team, and all of them are this week. They have a work day this week, especially except here this person on Friday. And we now see here that we can change it from work to sick, but we also want to that the system gives us information, okay, what is planned? So we now choose the off sick version for our Joshua, and he is sick today. And we can now say here, okay, we know in this case that, for example, the Louis Brandt has free time. So we can reassign the planned productions from Joshua in this time to Louis. When we save it, we get an overview that here are these 2 tasks are in this time frame that the other employee is sick. And we also have the possibility to reassign it to our first chosen employee or also to another. And we now save this. We see here that it's sick is now the status for this user. And when we go back and I said refresh, so you see now this status, or this employee has now the off-sick status, and the 2 tasks from him are now switched below to the other employee. And as you see, also had saw that now also because of refresh the page, that the pending plannings that are placed in the scheduler before are also not longer visible. So now we have a clean view. And yeah, and waiting then for the next task that comes from from Stefan back to Microbiz. And yeah, and the next step then is that also the information that comes from the SAP to the Microbiz, of course, find their way back in the system to see summaries, to see reports. And so I give now back to Stefan.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Okay, 1 second. Okay, then let's close the session with the view that we get back from Microbiz, or the view that comes out when the information, the planning information from Microbiz goes in real time back to the service order items that we have. Planning means that dates and assigned technicians, so to say, are now visible and also attached on the service order item level in BYD. And now we can make this visible if we add a more granularity to our report. In this system, it is called service performer. Say the assignment of the technician is here, technical term is service performer. And we now see that the report shows, okay, for measuring in week 8, there is unassigned work, but less than we have originally created, because the other work is distributed to these technicians like Babette Ertel or Elisabeth Klade. Here we see then the assigned workload to the technician level. And that is what we want to achieve. We want to hand over, say, the specific scheduling questions and to be answered by a professional tool like Microbiz, because in the ERP, we cannot handle all these kinds of questions like illness or assignment of skills that are appropriate, or automatic assignment by algorithms and so on. This is something that Microbiz can do very good. And we are interested in the end result, and the end result goes directly back to our service order position, so that we can see the assignment and the workload, and also, of course, the unassigned workload. Having said that, I would like to close the demo and hand back to Detlef.
Okay. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Aaron. So I will also share back my slide, and you see a man with a lot of questions behind. So I believe you have been able to show very well where the potential of a planning board lie, especially when it is very deeply connected to the ERP at the same time. We are now available to answer your questions you may have. You could ask your questions in the chat. I have seen there are some questions, and I have to open the right window. Yeah, okay. So And I will start with one question. Okay. I think it's for Aaron. Aaron, one question. How do you take into account driving, mobilization times, and delays?
Okay. Yeah, the driving and mobilizing times and delays. Yeah, especially here in the and this demo showcase, we of course can't show the whole. Oh, sorry, I saw my camera wasn't on.
Yes, we can
Okay,
see you.
great. So, okay, yeah. What also with a feature in the software is like a small route planning system that yeah plans also the distances between all the task places in it. And so we have the driving times, of course, yeah, included between the times that the tasks are executed. Here for the showcase, I did it manually without checking the distance in this case, but of course the automatically process will yeah, knows it and makes it correctly then.
Okay, thank you. I think next question is also for you. Sorry. Can different locations, dispatchers have and operate their own planning board independently of each other?
Yes, of course. I've already showed you the yeah the three teams I had on the system: the Munich, Berlin, and Hanover team. And I had, especially for this case, the view on the three teams. But of course, with the correct setting of permissions, it's also possible to just focus it on one team, so that I don't see other teams and have no rights to make actions in it.
Okay, one more. Can new assignments due to sick leave be handled automatically?
Okay, that is of course something. Yeah, I hope it's allowed also to Detlef that we can take some questions to answer it afterwards.
Yeah, it's no
Because
problem
that's
if you have.
Yeah.
that is especially that. Of course, we can implement processes that are that yeah were triggered by some of for some specific actions. For example, yeah, as you can see, there's a small thing when I plan a task, then the status change and something like this. And we also can yeah handle incoming information to trigger an action in the system to do another action. And yeah, it's not in this demo case. I'm sorry, I can't show this specific task now.
Yeah,
But
you have
yeah,
only
of
10 or
course.
15 minutes for that, so it's
Mhm.
okay. Okay, I think the next question I can answer, can other systems supply data, for example, HR, stock levels, etc.? Clearly, yes. Important HR information is already provided by the ERP SAP Business ByDesign. But the same, yeah, and also the same applies to the warehouse. The stock information and planned delivery schedule are transferred from SAP Business ByDesign. And if other software solutions need to be integrated, then we are able to connect them. I hope this answers the question at this moment. So, how do you plan and depict teams for 2 or 3 technicians?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all.
it's for
Yeah.
Aaron.
Exactly. It sounds like it for me. Yeah, that's also not possible. It's also yeah possible without problems. We have the possibility to place this task as I showed not only to one, we also can place this task on another user as well. And we're also able to plan it on team level, and so that at the end of the day, not this specific user must execute it, but the team itself, and he can add for example, the time registration laterly in the system for another technicians who are also there at the workplace. But the planning is no problem. We can use the drag and drop function, as I can see showed, also to place the same task also to another person.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. One moment. Yeah, that's all. How are new informations from the technical team be transferred into the system? Are they using a specific app in which they can change the status of the completion status of their individual availability status?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's also no problem with the micro:bis part. There's also an app available for this, and there the technicians can check in on the tasks, add the information that are needed for this task, and also register the times on this task. And with checking out, so the standard process with checking out, the status is changed to done, and then it's also visible in the dashboard you saw.
Yeah. Then let me go a little bit to the end of our webinar for today. Yeah, digital first. I think it's not new, but currently more important than ever. We hope you enjoyed our presentation today. You received some interesting information, and we would like to thank you for your participation and look forward to further discussions with you. Finally, I would like to share an important result of a survey with you. Digital first, it all depends on the right medium. Working on paper breaks of digital service processes. Yesterday I was in Dortmund on a big fair maintenance, and I have had some discussions with people, with employees from companies, and they told me, yeah, they work on paper. Yeah, that's breaks the digital service processes. But patchwork IT, and that's another point. In other words, it's also many different, often, let me say, uncoordinated individual solutions can also bring your digitalization process unstable. If you are interested, have further questions, or would like a more detailed presentation, then don't hesitate to contact me. Just write me a short email, visit me on LinkedIn, or give me a call. We will be happy to help you. Here you have my contact details. You can use all the participants here today. We will send also the recording so you can take a look in it later on. Big thank you to all of you. Have a great evening here in Germany, a great day all over the world. Good time, nice time. I wish you all the best. Thank you.